Ini filmnya berapa?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 8th meeting of ISMA workshop session, where in this session, we will be helping you all to prepare for your interview. And this workshop is the first part, and the second will be due in another day. And for this session, we have Miss Kenny Soesila as our facilitator. As usual, to begin our workshop, I'd like everyone to open their cameras as we are going to have our first photo session. So again, everyone, I'd like you to open your camera because we're going to have our first photo session. Miss Dilla, I think you can start taking pictures.
Okay, you ready? I will take a picture.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Good.
Wait. Okay, wait, yeah. Okay, next slide. 3, 2, 1. Next slide. Three, two, one. Okay, done. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Dilla. Next, after our photo session, we have opening remarks from Mr. Galar.
Okay, thank you so much, Janice. Well, hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you for all the team that has been preparing this info session. And I believe that everyone's here for the same reason, right, for ISMA. So notice that the application process has been closed just a few hours ago. And yeah, I just want to wish a good luck to everyone who's success to submit their application, and let's hope that your application is well verified with this. And so this time still as a preparation series for ISMA, coming from the task force team, we want to prepare you for the coming interview session. You know that after the application process, you will be undergo some series of tests, which is the interview test and also the nationality test. So we want to prepare you for the coming interview session through this session. So the purpose of this session is actually we want you to be able to tackle the interview session smoothly. And we will have two interview prep series actually, which is today, and the other one will be held on next Thursday on the 22nd of February. So make sure you take this as an advantage and pay good attention and use this very, very well. So yeah, I really, really believe that this session is going to be very useful for you all. So thank you. Back to you, Janice.
Thank you for your opening remarks. Before we jump right in, I'd like to remind you all, if you have questions for our Q&A session, you can raise your hand and ask right away. Or if you're far more comfortable being discreet, you can simply put it on the chat box. Now, let's get to know our facilitator today, shall we? Like I briefly said, today we are accompanied by Ms. Kenny Soesila. If you're wondering, I'm going to tell you who she is. She's a seasoned communication coach, specializing in enhancing business English presentation skills, with laser focus on critical areas like investor pitches, elevator pitches, sales pitches, product pitches, and effective presentation. She's also a professional banker with over 10 years of experience in high-end commercial banking and a public speaking and people development enthusiast. She derives much pleasure from improving her abilities and also helping others. So today, she's going to help us. She's going to help us improve ourselves here. And Miss Kenny, I think the floor is yours.
Thank you, Janice. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I will share my screen here first. Let me check. All good for the screen sharing? Okay, then. So good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Scholarship Interview Preparation Webinar for ISMA 2024. My name is Kenny Soesila. You can call me Kenny. I'm a communication coach here. I will help you to ace your upcoming ISMA interviews and secure your spot in this incredible program. Before we dive in, I want to extend a big thank you to Universitas Ciputra for hosting this event. Your commitment to supporting students in their global education aspirations truly commendable. So over the next 2 hours, we will equip you with the knowledge, the skills, and also confidence to excel in your ISMA interview. We'll explore everything you need to know. We will start from understanding the unique aspects of the program, the ISMA 2024, and then to crafting compelling responses and managing interview nerves. And please remember that this is your webinar, so feel free to ask questions throughout the sessions and participate in the interactive activities. Questions might pop up later, so please feel free to connect with me. You can reach me at my social media here for quick updates and also tips, or you can also email me directly here at kennysoesila@gmail.com for in-depth questions or feedback. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. When we are talking about scholarships, there are 3 important aspects here that I would like to start. First one, it would be the award of financial aid. The terms award for financial aid here will vary. It could be to support students' education. Typically, it will be covering the tuition fees, sometimes living expenses as well. And also, scholarship will be awarded based on various criteria. It could be the academic merit, for example, the GPA, the test scores, the class rank, academic achievement, or others. Could be through specific skills or talents, artistic, athletics, or leadership abilities. It could also be through the community involvement. For example, the volunteer work, extracurricular activities, and others. But all of this need to be aligned, needs to be aligned with the donor or founder values or goals. Hence, we have awarded by various entities. It could be the universities, the colleges, private foundations, organizations, agencies, corporations, individuals. They vary. Now, what about ISMA? So I took this from ISMA website, Indonesian International Student Mobility Awards. If we put the three important aspects before, so which type of financial aid here that is offered by ISMA? Anyone knows? Is it going to be a full scholarship or perhaps only part? Anyone knows? Perhaps you could share in the chat box. Have you checked the ISMA qualifications before, perhaps, guys? Yes. Is it going to be a full scholarship abroad? Yes. Okay. Are you aware of the length of study? Is it going to be full year, one semester, or others? So those are the types of the financial aid. And yes, ISMA here will be covering the full scholarship program or under various criteria here, specific one actually. So not all Indonesians are eligible to be given the ISMA scholarship. When we dive into the criteria, we will have the Indonesian undergraduates, we will have the merit-based process. For example, okay, the first, it would be selected based on the academic performance, the GPA, the transcript, the English language proficiency, the interview later, or involvement in extracurricular activities and also community service. And what about the donor here, the founder of the award? When we see here, it would be the Indonesian government. It would be the Indonesian Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and also Technology, taken from the national budget. Why is it important here, guys? For us to understand first the nature here, the nuances of ISMA program itself, because you will be taking the interview, right? The next step here will be, one of them will be the interview, scholarship interview. Understanding ISMA here, the program, it could help you to tailor your interview responses so that you could showcase your academic achievement, your English proficiency, your motivations, and how they are all aligned here with the program's goals. All right. Let me check first. Up until this part, am I speaking too fast or is it okay, everyone? All good? Okay, then. If you have questions, feel free to put the questions in the chat box, or perhaps later you can also raise your hand here in the Q&A session. All right. So here, when we are talking about the interview, scholarship interview, it is more to the opportunity to match expectation and also reality. Okay, so you know this expectation and reality on the social media. Scholarship interview will be something like that, but this time we will have two sides here. First, the interviewer and also the interviewee itself. All of the persons involved here, we will have our own expectations, and the scholarship interview here will be the opportunity for you to see whether you could meet that expectations based on the information given or asked throughout the interview. What are the expectations though for the interviewers? Meeting variety of candidates, determine which one is right, and what does it mean by right here? The one that is in alignment here with the scholarship's value and also goals. So they need to find these persons, these applicants here, so that later will be the awardees. And what about the interviewee, which is us here? We have the chance here to elaborate on our own qualifications because our written documents, our cover letters, the applications, and also CV won't do all the justice to all that we are. So we could elaborate our qualifications throughout the interview. We could also learn a lot about your schools later, and it could also showcase your communication style here so that it will make you stand out here from the rest of the applicants. So no need to be to feel. So sometimes we will feel like in the interview we will be sort of inferior compared to the interviewer. Please don't feel that way because we could see that all people here, we have everyone here involved in this whole process. We have our own expectations to meet, and also it is the opportunity. We will highlight the term opportunity here, the opportunity for us to see whether it fits us or not. All right, up until this point, any questions, everyone? Not yet? Okay, so previously I believe that you've been given the workbook from the committee. Is that correct? Have you received the workbook, everyone? Have you downloaded the workbook? If you have downloaded the workbook, please give me a thumbs up on your screen so that we could check. How is it? Hello? Have you received the workbook before? Yes? Oh, okay. I guess Janice will be our representative here for for everyone. Okay, so you have received the workbook, right? In the workbook, we have several worksheets here, and we will start with the first one. The first worksheet here, you could see that if you try to point out here, try to let's repeat what we have already discussed in the beginning part of our webinar today. Here, we do have the important part of the scholarship selection process, and it starts with the interview here for the interviewer and also for the interviewee. You could take some notes, and here's the information here, and it is very important as the basic here, guys, because when it comes to interview, it is related to speaking to somebody that we are somebody that are totally stranger to us. So we need to put our effort here in order for them to understand us. That is correct in a way, though. But we also have our own opportunity here to learn more about our chosen host university, learn more about the ISMA program itself. So this is the basic, so that later we will take this as a two-way communication. All right, so let's continue about the who and also what of the interview, the who and the what of the interview. When we have the interview here, actually, I have several screenshots taken from the ISMA website. I need you to identify the keywords in each screenshot that I am about to show you. Are you ready, everyone? I will start with the first screenshot. This is the first screenshot taken from the ISMA website, Indonesian International Student Mobility Awards, and so on. I will need you to get one keyword only from this screenshot. And please put that in the chat box so that later we could check whether you have the same keywords or the as compared to other friends. What is the keyword here, guys, from this particular screenshot here? You could put that on the chat box. And while waiting for the answers, I will continue to the next. So here we have this particular statements here coming from the minister. We do have several items that could be the keyword though for this particular scholarship. You could take a phrase only, or perhaps one full sentence, but usually keywords will be just some phrases. I will continue to the next. Here we have the program objectives for ISMA 2024. We have the credits, knowledge and skill, networks, career, cross-cultural understanding, and also multidisciplinarity. From these three screenshots here, guys, we could take the keywords that will make us more familiar here to the program. Here I have put the keywords. We have international mobility. We have 1 semester at best universities. We have future-ready mindset, cross-cultural understanding, generation of global citizens, and also contribution to society. Why is it important though for us to gather these keywords? To remember that before we talk about the importance of having this understanding of ISMA program nuances, okay, so that we could tailor that to our response during or throughout the interview. And here, based on this, we know what the goals of the committee will be, what the goals of this scholarship in particular, and also the interviewer. The interviewer will have his or her or their expectations, and this will be on the list. So you will tailor these keywords, you will tailor this concept here into your responses later at or during throughout the interview. Okay, I will continue first with the importance of research. I believe that as the students, university students, you do quite a lot of research. And here I will need you to do another research here, especially the one that will help you to be successful here in nailing or being the awardee for ISMA 2024 scholarship. There are 2 research points only 2 here. First one would be the reasons for applying to ISMA scholarship. And then the second would be the reasons for applying to host university. So we have already had our keywords before. What ISMA is, okay, the program. And then we have the keywords already. Now, your own reasons here, why you want to apply to ISMA scholarship. It will be influenced by all of those keywords that we have before. And then next, we will move to how to apply to the host university. We'll start from the first one. I have an example here for you guys. this is my samples only. If I were an applicant and I will apply for the ISMA scholarship, what would be my personal reasons here? I tried to make several pointers, and here are my pointers. I want to fulfill my dream of studying abroad. Okay, that would be one. Another, I have this need to have the international exposure. I am seeking the opportunities here where I could immerse myself in the international environment. Later, after graduating from the university, I will start on my career. And I think that the international experience here will make me one of the best, one of the applicants that will stand out in the competitiveness in the job market. So career enhancement will be next on the list. Personal development, okay, so I will be stepping out of my comfort zone. I've never been abroad, like for living abroad for more than 1 month, but through this ISMA scholarship, I will be embracing the challenge of stepping out of my comfort zone. Last one would be my contribution to Indonesia. Still remember everyone, previous keywords that we have. One of them would be talking about how we could give back to the society. So having this point about contributing back, proudly representing Indonesia abroad, and also after that, you will have some contribution here for your own country, that would be a plus point. So these are several lists that later you can use this for tailoring your interview response. Is it clear so far? Any questions? No? All good? Okay then. So first thing first, we will need to be able, thank you, Janice. We will need to be able to do the research. 2 researches here. I will need you to look at your own reasons, your personal reasons to apply to ISMA scholarship. And in order for you to make the list of pointers here, please consider the keywords, some important points that you take related to ISMA scholarship. Good, let's continue. Next one, we will go to the host university. So here we have quite broad here for the list. Host universities list, there are more than 50 countries, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take one, for example, America. And then here we have Yale. Okay, so let's take Yale, for example. Yale University in the USA. Here, if you click on that, you can see the descriptions, the requirement, and also the academic period, right? These are all available at the ISMA website. Okay, so you can see it here, the history of Yale itself, and also related to Yale summer session. Because for the ISMA here, later applicants, they will go into Yale summer session. So let's move. What are the available courses? Here we have a lot of available courses. I will take one, for example, I will take investigative journalism, for example. Okay, so let's take that. And then if I scroll a bit, I could see the information related to Yale summer session, where you can see how to experience Yale in the summer. So what are the opportunities, what are the learning environment going to be. You could see some snapouts here, I guess snapshots here from this page on Yale summer session. Try to gather that. Again, please note down the keywords, okay? And make it yours, okay? Note down the keywords, and then after that, you will make your own pointers. Let's take a look at this sample. Host university, Yale. Chosen course would be investigative journalism. So I will make some research here. First about Yale, another about the course. And I will relate it all back to the scholarship and also what I'm going to do after that. So here are several pointers that I got. Top-notch education. Okay, Yale is the Ivy League top university. So here it will be best to learn from the best, to be a skilled investigative journalist. It is a unique course, okay, because here you will not be only getting one item or one kind of learning, but you will have the teaching advanced on reporting techniques and also the storytelling skills, which is very important. Emphasis on the ethics, ethical journalism. How do you know that it has ethical journalism? From the research. So here you need to have the research about the chosen course itself so that you will know what the syllabus will look like, what the coverage will look like. So you will know, oh, it will have ethical journalism as one of the points that will be discussed throughout the course. You can have the practical experience because, again, based on your research, the course here offers practical assignments every week, and it also has a long-term writing project. So it could help you to develop your research, your storytelling skills, and others. Inclusive learning environment. How do you get this information? From your research related to how the learning environment is going to be like at Yale. And then here you can also note down about your career opportunities, about Yale's reputation, the alumni network, and others. So if you refer it back to your previous reasons for applying to the ISMA scholarships, they will be a good match, everyone. It will be related. And if they are all related here, later when you have or when you tailor your own response to the questions given by the interviewer, you will see where you stand. Okay, up until this part. Questions first? Okay, hello, Jasenia here. Is it better for us to focus on one host university as our first choice, or should we prepare the responses for the other choices? Okay, as always here, if you have, if you are sure here, when we are talking about options, though, it will be safe to have more than one. So let's say like it will be two. However, in-depth research on each and also whether they are aligned with your own goals here that you want to reach through this ISMA program. That would be the first thing to be considered, so that it will not be this way. Oh, I will put two options here for the host universities because I need to have two options. No. So please make sure that they aligned with your goals. What is it that you want to get here, your aim here in taking this scholarship? Hope that helps, Jasenia. Thank you for the questions. All right, so how many of you have already decided on your country first, not the host university, but country first? Please raise your hand. How many of you have made the decision on where to go? I mean the country first. No one? Still looking?
Yeah, thank you, Miss Kenny. So I would like to jump in a little bit.
Yes,
So,
miss.
dear students, this session is called the workshop interview session, right? You see the word work in the workshop means we need you to be active and do some work in order for this workshop to help you in the most optimal way that it can. Yeah. So I highly recommend you, if you can just open your camera, that will be a great help, because anyway, if you would like to do interview, it's going to be online and it's not going to work if you do it with the off cam. So please, I'm going to give you like probably 30 seconds to open your camera.
Thank you, Miss Jessica. Okay, everyone. So please open the camera so that I could see all of you, so that we could interact better. Here, when we have chosen the country first, not yet the host university. After that, you could narrow it down to the host university. How many of you have found your desired host university here? Not yet.
Yeah, you can answer by putting reaction. Yeah, if you
Putting
check the bottom
reactions,
of your
thumbs
screen.
up or others,
Yeah, there's a reaction
yes.
button. You can put any kind of reaction just to show that you are there and we know that we are talking to you. Remember, this is workshop. Put some work. Just put some reaction. It's very easy. Come on, give us
Thank
more
you, Miss
reaction, please.
Jessica. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So here goes, everyone. I will need you to take a look at your workbook again. We have the worksheet two there, the importance of research, sorry. I will need you to make a list of your reasons for applying to ISMA scholarship. Okay, so you know ISMA already. You know the nuances of this program. What about your own reasons here for applying to ISMA scholarship? That would be one. And then another, I will need you to write down here your desired host university and also major later when you become the awardee of the ISMA scholarship. Not yet for the host university, miss. Perhaps you could start with your desired country, or here you could also narrow it down to the major. Usually we could have it that way though. Start with the major first, then after that you will see which country or which universities over this major. Or you can start with the country first, then looking at the list of universities because there are plenty of them. Then after that, make your list there, your reasons for applying to the host university. All right then. So you can use this again, guys, as your guidance. Research here means that you will click on more informations as long as they could benefit your findings later. They could sharpen your responses later. These are still not the answers to the interviewer's question, but this is the basic. So we will go from here to later, we will construct our response to the interviewers. Good? Shall we move on to the next? So we could do this in parallel, everyone, okay? Later, you can always go back here, okay? You can always go back here to make a list of your reasons. Remember, to research. First, for applying to ISMA scholarship, and another would be for applying to host university. Okay, I will continue first to the types of questions. Yes. In all interviews, we will always have questions here. The questions will not be given in writing. So it is very important that you listened carefully. Okay, here goes here for the types of questions first. Okay, we'll go with the types of questions first. There are lots of questions. Perhaps later, if you Google scholarship interview questions, you will have a list of questions, more than 10, perhaps more than 20. But actually, you could narrow them down into 3 categories, dear guys. First, it would be the questions all related about yourself. So you are the only one that could answer this question here. Second, it will be about the opportunity. It could be the current opportunity, past opportunity, or future opportunity. For example, getting the scholarship. Last but not least, we will have the closing remarks. Let's take a look at this one by one. Okay. These are the examples of questions about yourself. I have 5 examples of the questions here under this category. Tell us about yourself. What is your greatest strength? Why do you deserve this scholarship? And others. You are the only one that could tell or that could answer these questions. Second category, we have questions about opportunities, past opportunities, present or future opportunities. Tell me about a mistake, telling us about the past opportunity. Or here, why did you choose this school here? What activities are you involved in, the present opportunity, and others. Last but not least, we have the closing remarks. Only one question though. Do you have any questions for me? Yes, you will have this, everyone. You will have the do you have any questions for me questioned in a scholarship interview. And it is very important. Usually it will be the last question. Why is it important? Because it will demonstrate your initiative. It will demonstrate your curiosity. It will show your genuine interest in the program, whether you are interested or whether you are really or genuinely interested in the program or not. It could highlight your knowledge. It could highlight your research. If you have the research, then you will know what to ask. It is also the opportunity for you to seize the opportunity to provide to clarify your doubts, to gain additional insights, and also to potentially impress the interviewer. So this is only one question, but very important. That's why I need you to provide, never provide no question. No miss, no mister. I do not have any questions. Please do not do that. Why is that? It will show that you are passive, uninterested. It will show that you missed the opportunity here. So there are ways for that. And again, the research, the preparation. I need you to prepare questions prior to the interviews. You can ask about specifics. You can also clarify some unclear points. Because as we had agreed before, that interview is a two-way communication, right? So not just the interviewer that needs to interview you, no. You also could clarify. You also could ask questions. You also could have the conversation, two-way communication here with the interviewer. Up until this part, any questions, everyone? No? All good? I'll continue first on how to handle the questions. Sure, Jasenia, thank you for the questions. Provide any question examples. We will. So how to handle questions? Yes. Because the questions will not be given to you in writing, so you need to listen and stay focused and be there. Can you be in the room there, but you are not really there? Can you? Yes, it is possible though. So you are there in person, but actually you are not there because you're too busy with your thoughts. Perhaps you have what is it? Feeling very apprehensive here. There are lots of nervousness going on about this interview. So the preparation itself could cloud you from being in the moment. It is very important, guys. Stay focused, listen attentively, be there at the moment. Because if not, then you will not be able to get the question, which is very important. The next box there, I have tried to understand the intention of the question. What does it mean though? All of the questions, there is an intention behind that. I have this example for you. For example, for the question, tell us about yourself. This is basic. Most likely you will have these questions as the beginning part of the interview. What is the literal interpretation of this question? Please share your life story, but actually not that. There is this intention. Understanding the intention is important. The interviewer needs to explore your experiences, needs to explore your qualities, your achievements here, all related to the scholarship and also the program goals. So how to tailor your response here? You will have it like this. You are passionate about something. I excelled about certain related studies or certain activities through this type of experience. I honed in certain important skills. My ambition is in line with the program and others. So here's what it meant by trying to understand the intention of the question. When you listening and also hearing, they are completely different. If you just hear something, you will receive some voice. And then after that, you could notice that, you could just ignore that. But when you listened attentively, so you will have the active participation during your time of listening. Okay, so while listening, you are not just passively trying to absorb the question, but you will actively try to seek, for example, here, start with the intention first of the questions. If it is not clear, you could ask for the clarification, and you must be clear and also concise. This is very important because you do not have the whole day here to explain or to answer about one question. So you need to be clear and concise. Let's move everyone to the technique on how to answer the questions. There are two techniques that I will share today, and I will start with the prep technique or the prep framework. We have point, reason, example, and point again. So the first point here, you will state your main points clearly and concisely. What is it that you are trying to communicate? The reason, you will explain further why your point matters. You can provide the evidence, you can provide some justification to support your claim. And then have the example. You could have specific examples, story, data, anything that is relevant and also memorable. After that, briefly restate. So you will go back to your main point. It's like the conclusion part here. All right, so let's take later I will show you the example. So here is what we call the prep technique. You start from giving your points there, give the reasons, provide the evidence, and then you will conclude it back, going back to the point that you mentioned earlier. Second, we have the STAR interview method. STAR, the STAR here. We have the situation, we have the task, action, and also the result. Situation, you will briefly describe the context or the challenge that you faced. And then for the task there, you will explain your task, your responsibility, or perhaps the goal that you need to achieve. You will follow it with the actions. What are the actions? Some specific steps that you took to address the situation. Last but not least, what's the result? So you will share the outcome. So if you look at these two types of answering questions, I will put it in this table when to use which. So when to use the prep framework, when to use the STAR method here, Miss. Okay, so please take a look at the focus that you could gain from each method here. The prep framework, you will have point, reason, example, point. It will be very good if you answer this for the general information, giving opinions, and also providing reasons. What about STAR? This would be excellent for you to provide your examples from past experiences. Questions first, everyone. Is it clear so far? After this, I will show you on how to put these to the real questions used during or throughout the interview. Not yet for the questions. I will continue first. Some common interview questions. As I had said earlier, there are 3 categories. We'll start with the questions about yourself. Tell us about yourself. According to you, which method we will use for this? Is it the prep one or the STAR method, everyone? We do have 2 there, right? Point, reason, example, point, prep method, or situation, task, action, and result, the STAR. The prep, thank you, Rifki. Okay, yes, excellent. It is correct. The prep framework. Here, guys, I have made sample answer. Tell us about yourself. Remember to understand that you have the intention behind this question. So here, you will start with the point first. Give your reasons. I am a dedicated and ambitious individual with a passion for making positive impact. What's your reason for this? You will get it through your academic journey. And then your example. Provide the example to support your reason here. Okay, you could take that from your project, from your community service, your time in the student council, or others. Then conclude again, go back to your previous point. In conclusion, I'm eager to further my education and contribute meaningfully to society, and so on. So you will have this in less than 1 minute, everyone. You can answer these questions in less than 1 minute, but I will need you to prepare way before that and way longer than 1 minute itself. Okay? So here, prep framework, it will be excellent when you want to give your opinion, your reasons, general statements. Next questions, we have, what is your greatest strength or weakness? Remember, this is talking about your opportunity. Talking about your opportunity, you will be talking about your past experience. Talking about past experience, it will be great if you use the STAR method. Tell about the situation, tell about the task, what's your action on that, and what's the result. So by having this structure, you will not lose your focus, because usually when we, not always in the interview session, let's take, for example, if you talk to your friend here, you have one point actually that you want to tell to your friend, but you go wide, way wider than that. You go on telling stories about this, that, and everything. So by having this structure, they could actually bring you back. Don't forget to cover this. Don't forget to have this. So after you have your situation, you will continue, you will proceed with the task, action, and also result. It goes the same for all types of interview questions, everyone. So here, for example, why do you deserve this scholarship? Okay, we have the prep framework again. What are your academic and professional goals? Another star here, star method, because we are talking about past experiences. Who has been a role model for you? So here we could take the conclusion that actually when it is general information, when it is talking about your opinions, reasons, go for the prep. On the questions related to opportunities, most likely you will use the STAR method. Tell me about a mistake you made. You will tell the situations first, your task, action, and then the result that follows. Why did you choose this school? You will use this because it allows you for a structured response here that highlight your reasons for choosing the school in a concise manner and others. Later, I will share this so you could not copy this because it will not be yours, okay? So what is unique about interview is that you will explain yourself, you will not explain, you will introduce yourself to the committee. You will introduce yourself to the interviewer. And there are ways for you to have your amazing introduction there in a concise manner. Try to use this, everyone, using prep method, point, reason, example, then go back to the point there for the conclusion. And for the STAR method, situation, task, action, and also the results. Do you have any questions for me? Yes, you can use this as well using the prep method. Absolutely, I do have few questions, and then you will proceed to the questions here. Remember to have some research beforehand, and then here you will give the examples. I'm curious about the opportunities for mentorship here available to scholarship recipients and others. Remember the importance of these single questions, even though it is probably going to be the last question, but it is very important. Questions first, everyone. No? Good.
Yes. So maybe this is the right time for you guys to open your microphone or you start typing in the chat. So remember about what Miss Kenny mentioned before about the active listening, right? If you
Yeah.
just being passive, this is exactly the first mistake that you are doing. So we encourage you to put question or even better, open your microphone. This is the good chance, the opportunity to practice your interview with someone who you don't know, right? You know us, you know your lecturer, but this is a good opportunity. You never met Miss Kenny before, so use this opportunity, okay?
Thank you, Miss Jessica. So here we have the question from Clarissa. Can you please give some tips or techniques on how to answer questions that does not really align with our knowledge? For example, the interviewer asking about recent news or certain topics that we are not really familiar with. So Clarissa, I guess it will be related to the general knowledge. Will that be correct? You can perhaps put some thumbs up in your screen if it is correct. If it is related to the general knowledge, so usually here we will have our research beforehand. It will be aligned with the goals. There, guaranteed everyone, there will not be questions that are outside of the scope of the scholarship goals itself, both for especially for the interviewer. Remember, before we talked about the expectations of the interviewer. And yes, if it is related to the general knowledge quiz, you can the general knowledge, for the general knowledge here, you can always bring it back, connect it back to yourself though. You can always connect it back to how you feel about that, your opinion on that. And remember to look for the intention of the question. I will go from there first. If you need further explanations, do let us know in the chat box. From Jasenia, when we are asked about our past experiences, like our weaknesses or achievements, should we provide more than one topics and be more general, or just one and elaborate on the details? Good question. So this goes for Jasenia and also everyone. Remember to be concise and also specific. So one example will be better. Then you will have, like for example, you provide more than 3 examples, even though they are all relevant to the questions. So please prepare one example that is the most relevant to the questions being asked. Thank you, Jasenia. And then here we have Muhammad Calvin. What should be avoided? We will go there after this, Calvin, is it? Thank you for asking. And then Dennis, how pivotal is body language? Yes, very. Okay, so we will go to the body language after this. Felicia, I saw one of your question example asking about leadership experience. How should we answer it when we don't have any related experience? Remember, do not go for the literal meaning. What does it mean by leadership actually? Does it always have to be related to, we have to be the member or perhaps the president of the student councils, for example, like that? No. So leadership here, it means that you will have the impact. You will have the impact on how to influence others. You can influence others, you could put the leadership skills there, not just at school, but also in the family, in your neighborhood, and also with your friends there. I see Pak Gelar raised hand. Yes, Pak Gelar.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Kenny. So maybe I'm just would like to going back to Clarissa's question, because I think Clarissa's question is quite relatable, not only for Isma, but I think for every kind of interview situation. So
Yes.
is there any specific tips for you how to answer the question that maybe you're not really familiar with, or you don't feel confident enough because you don't have the capacity to answer the question? So what and what not to do to how to encounter that kind of situation?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. We can also call that the impromptu one because you have not prepared that before. So how to tackle this impromptu situation? If we have this impromptu question here from the interviewer, there are several tips, and it goes the same though with the prep method. You could have your introduction first. I'll go with the structure first, okay? The introduction, develop that in the body of your speech later, and then make a conclusion. And how to answer that for the questions that you are not too familiar with. You will go with the intention of the questions to Pak Gelar and also everyone. For example, you are being asked here related to the political situation in Indonesia. You are not following the political situation here much, but you are asked about your opinions on this current political situation here. So it will be asking for our own opinion. So start with the opinion. Start with several seconds for you to process the questions. Okay, we will start with several seconds, 10 seconds at maximum, to process the question and find what is the first thing that comes up in our mind related to that topic. So we will go with the first thing that comes up in our mind related to the topic. Then we will try to structure that. And also we will develop that as we go, because we will not be having a lot of time in preparing the answers. For example, we are not following the election process. We just have to be one of the voters, but we are not following the election process and also all of the news around that. And then we are being asked the question to that. Please try to buy some time, up to 10 seconds here. You can have that by clarifying the questions to the interviewer. So while you clarify the question to the interviewer, it will buy you some time here to gather your answers. At least you will have your first point first, the first thing that comes up in your mind. And then you will need to elaborate that. How to explain further about these ideas. Just go with the prep method here. Start with your ideas first. Give your reasons. Then it will be built from there. Try to connect this to yourself, because it will make it different than the rest of the applicants. Then you could conclude that at the end by going back to the first point that you mentioned. Not only that it will be applicable for the general knowledge or general information, it is also possible for the other types of impromptu questions that we haven't prepared before. So try to buy the time by clarifying or restate the sentence again. So there are two ways for us to buy more time for gathering our first thoughts on that. First, asking clarification questions, okay, or clarifying questions. And then the second would be paraphrasing, or you will say the sentence again in your response as your first response. I think I will go with that. Pak Gelar?
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Kenny. Maybe I would like to add something.
Yes.
So, is it safe to say that in case of answering impromptu question, just like what you've mentioned before, is it safe to say that it's not about to how to answer it correctly or wrong, but it's about to address your opinion about that
Correct.
certain issue?
Yes.
So yeah,
Excellent.
so
That is correct.
so it's not okay. So it's not about make sure that you answer the question correctly or wrong, but it's about being honest to yourself on how you how is your opinion about the thing that being addressed to you? Is it safe to say like that?
That is correct. So it
Okay.
would be more to developing our arguments. So we have
Thank you,
our
Ms. Kenny.
opinion, we have our arguments, then we develop that so that other people will know that better. There is no right or wrong. I agree with Pak Gelar here. No right or wrong in answering the questions, which make it very specific only for you here. All right. So I will continue first here related to, okay, we have the word U3 there, guys. We have some pointers on the prep framework and also the STAR method. Later, you could put your pointers first here, okay, about the example, the sample questions here. Tell us about yourself and tell us about your leadership experience. All right, up until this part, all good, everyone? Shall we move to the next? Okay. For ISMA scholarship interview, it will be done online. Is that correct? So it will be done online. Here are several online interview preparations. We will start from before the D-Day and during the D-Day. Okay, let's start with before the D-Day first here, guys. So when we see here prepping for our success in the online interview, I will need you to first get the details. What are the details? Not just the time, not just the date for the interview, but please be familiar with the platform. Is it going to be on Zoom, Google Meet, Skype, or others? Okay, please be familiar. So familiarity here is the key. Why is that? Because it could ruin your concentration here if you have some problems on how to access or how to access the platform, how to get around here during the interview or others. Be aware of the timing, be aware of the start and also end times. And also here we have lighting. Okay, creating good lighting. I have several examples here, guys, that I had taken. When we talk about good lighting, why is that important? I will show you first. So this would be the ideal lighting setup here, guys. You have enough lighting here so that later you will help the interviewer to see you properly. There are several challenges that we might face in accordance to the lighting. First, if you have a very bright rear or at the back here, backlights here, you will have backlighting. It will appear to something like this. What about if you have natural light? Because your table, your desk here would be in front of the window. So you have natural light in front of you. You will have it like this, dark background, but you can see your face here clearly. If we have the sunlight, the sunlight here and also the light, it is possible that it will cast a blue or orange color cast on you. This is the example. So it will cast blue or orange cast here on you. And about the position where to sit. Sit at an angle to the window, like 45-degree angle. This is the best. You can have the soft shadow from the natural lighting. And this is what happened when you have the desk lamp. So all of these pictures, they are taken at the same time, guys. All of these pictures, they are taken at the same time with different types of lighting. So here, if you have desk lamp here, or perhaps we have the ring light here at the corner of your desk, it is possible that it will cast something like this. Heart on the eyes here. And then here, if you put the desk lamp, this would be the ideal situation. The desk lamp there will face the opposing wall. Why is that? Because later it will bounce the light off. It will bounce your lamp off the opposing wall and it will create this type of lighting, which is much better here. It will create a pleasing soft light over here, and that would be for the lighting. Even though it may seem simple, but it's not that simple. So this would be the thing that needs to be prepared before the D-date here. Create good lighting. And then we have the location, everyone. Okay, very important that you choose quiet and also private location to eliminate background noise and also distractions. Put some professional backdrop if you have a messy or you don't want to reveal the backgrounds. Sit comfortably to avoid fidgeting on the camera. Figure out your device. It is also important. Test your camera, test your microphone. You check the quality, check the functionality, close the unnecessary program. Do not open too many windows and then charge your device fully. So you will avoid interruptions due to low battery. Do a test run, try to simulate the interview, rehearse some common questions and get feedback. You can do this with your lecturer perhaps, or with your friends, or even with your family as well. So you have already done your part of the research. You have made your script perhaps, or perhaps without the script. Try to rehearse on that. That's what those are the things that we need to prepare before the D-Day. Now let's move to the one on the D-Day then, on the day of the interview. It is very important though, guys, for you to dress professionally. Even though it is online, first impressions matter. So you will dress up as you would for an in-person interview. It will project your professionalism, project the respect as well. So avoid using casual wear or overly revealing clothing there. So dress professionally, and then you can check or test again on your technology. Have backup plans. For example, we have the Wi-Fi here in the house. We have wired internet connection. Have a backup here just in case of emergencies. Eliminate distractions, could be from the phones, could be from pets perhaps, or others. So this is very important, and log on early, at least 10 minutes, so that you can be prepared there at the time of the interview and be really there. And if you have this approach, it will show professionalism and also punctuality. Be mindful of your body language. One of you asked for the body language there, and here are several things that I will share. The body language for the online interview. We'll start with sit up straight here, guys. This is the example of not sitting up straight. To lean back here, it will show too casual. All right. And then the interviewer will not be able to see you clearly. So please sit up straight. And then you can maintain the eye contact. Here I have the example of sitting up straight here for the online interview. Excuse me, may I be excused for a minute? Thank you.
Yeah, so while waiting for Miss Kenny, I would like to add a little bit more about the interview session. So if we just finished our the first hurdle, I think, in the ISMA registration, we just finished the deadline by today. But the next one, we will have you will have tes kebangsaan, okay, and then follow up by the interview. Perhaps this is what you would like to take notes, is that after the wawasan kebangsaan, we do not know when we will have the interview session. Yeah, we do not know. It can be like you get the information this afternoon and then tomorrow morning you have to do the interview. That happens a lot. Some of you might be lucky enough to have like the information 2 days before, the others might not. Okay, so about the tips that Miss Kenny mentioned before, please prepare it as soon as possible. If you are in the university, prepare, check now where you can go, where you can get the most supporting environment for you, because you never know when your invitation will come.
Thank
Okay,
you,
back
Miss
to you.
Jessica. Okay. So let's review again for the body language here. Sitting up straight, maintaining eye contact. So please have the device. Preferably it will be a laptop, okay? Because it will be clearer here for you. Please put the laptop here. The camera of the laptop should be within your eye level, everyone. So if you need some support or others, please prepare beforehand. Keep your gesture small. We only have this box over here throughout the online interview, even though here it is related, it is quite limited, but keep your gesture small, and most likely you will use the hand gesture and also the facial expressions. Don't forget to smile because it will show that you are approachable person here. Not when necessary, do not cross your arms or your legs because that will influence your posture here. And don't forget to smile. Okay, so here's the recap. We have the preparation checklist. It is also available at your worksheet there. Please do the research. Please rehearse. Don't forget to dress for success. Don't forget to be yourself. Be confident and also remember your manners. Later in your worksheet, you will find the research checklist, how to handle questions, and this one would be about the things to be prepared before the D-Day. On the D-Day, you can make this as your checklist here, guys, prior to the interview. Okay, then that would be all from me. I will give the mic back to Janice.
Okay, as you can see here, we're going to go into the role play session. Is Bridget here? She is the first person, the first participant.
Yeah, I'm here already.
Okay.
All right. The name is Bridget. Bridget.
Yes.
Hi, Bridget. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hi, Bridget Claire. Okay, hello. So we will have our role play here, live role play for the first question. Tell us about yourself.
My name is Bridget Patrick Clear. I'm from Informatics 22 from Ciputra University. I overall have a passion for technology design, and I seek the ISMA scholarship because it aligns with my goals for personal and professional growth, providing the resources and global outlook necessary to thrive in the tech and design field that aligns with my passion.
Okay, will that be all, Bridget?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So here you start with the introduction of your name and also your major and the university. Yes, it is already a good point for the introduction, though, related to names and your major and the university. It could be done at the beginning or the start of your time of speaking, or you could have that after the introduction there. All right. I could see that you already follow the prep framework here. Start from the points, and then you have your reasons there. Example 2, and don't forget to go back again to the point. So usually when we are already at the conclusion session, we will end our speech here as fast as possible. The conclusion session here, it is actually our opportunity to remind the interviewer again about the things that the main idea that we have uttered before. But overall, already good, Bridget. Try to work on the eye contact here for most of the time, and also for the gesture. So perhaps you have the desk in front of you. Yes, okay. So the desk here will be able to support our posture, or perhaps it could also make us a bit slouching here. So try to have some free hand gesture, not relying on the desk, because that will be able to affect your posture. Another, if I may have the input, would be on the pace. Please do not speak too fast, okay? Because if you are speaking too fast, then the enunciation, the word by word here that you have uttered, which you have already rehearsed them all, may not be heard all. But other than that, already good. Excellent. Okay, thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We will have our next role play here, Janice.
Okay, thank you. Our next person is Maverick. Is he or is she here? Are you here?
Maverick.
Yes. Is Maverick here?
Yes, Maverick. Next to
Hello.
Bridget, is it?
Okay.
Yes.
Hi,
next to Bridget.
Maverick. How are you today?
Hello. I'm good. How about you?
I feel great. Okay. Thank you, Maverick. So here is the question for you. What is your greatest strength or weakness?
So I think my greatest strength is my commitment. I'm a very committed person. So once I start something, be it a routine or learning something new, I won't give up until I'm satisfied with my result. And another strength of mine is being adaptable. So I'm very good at dealing with new situations. I'm very good at dealing with having to learn new things. And I'm very good at dealing with new environments and stuff like that.
Okay. Will that be all?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you. Thank you, Maverick. So you have two points here related to the strength. Both of them are strength, correct? Commitment and also adaptable. Okay, so based on our previous two methods, you can use the star to help you with this one, okay? So the situation you have already had here, your commitment and then your explanation already done. Please move further to give the examples of how that commitment here being applied in your life. It could be during the academic life here, or perhaps something in the social life. So that would be one related to commitment. Another would be the adaptable. You have already made it clear on how to explain about the adaptable here. Please don't forget to provide the examples of how you put that. When you have more than 2 points here for your strength or perhaps related to your weakness, I will need you to make sure that you elaborate them. Both of them here clearly. So not just one, but both of them here clearly. And last but not least would be the conclusion. If you use the STAR method, your conclusion would be the result of your action, right? So for example, you have the commitment there, and then after that, you explained about that. Give your example about how you apply this commitment trait here in your life. After that, you will provide the result. So all of this will be the total coherence. Will be able to strengthen your points and then to make you stand out from the crowd, because the interviewer will be able to see you again. All right. I think that would be all for the other stuffs, other evaluations will be related to the it will be, yes, perhaps related to the body language later. Please don't forget to smile. Okay, please don't forget to smile and then while answering the interview questions. Thank you for Maverick and also Bridget Claire. Thank you. I will give back to Janice.
Yes, I believe the last person to participate is Vania.
Vania.
But yes, but it says that she'd like to stay back and see everyone first. So
I
I don't
see.
know if the third spot is taken or not. So if Vanya, if you're here and you'd like to take the spot, you can simply open your mic and start. Or I can give it to anyone that is interested on taking the third spot.
Is Vania here? Don't worry about answering the questions here, guys. This is as a role play, so this will not reflect your real performance. But here you could try to prepare, try to have the hands-on, try to see what it feels like, because when we answer the questions here in our head and when we utter that in sentences, they might come up differently, right? So let's take this opportunity for practice only, okay? So remember, practice here is the key. If we have the opportunity to practice. I have one more slot here for the role play. Any takers?
Come on, to those of you who need to prepare for ISMA, this is your chance. Not everyone gets a chance to do the interview twice. This is a good opportunity. It's much better to fail here, right? So do it, even though you feel that you're not that good. This is the perfect opportunity to make yourself better, because you never know where's your weakness if you don't get the opportunity, right? You can get evaluation from Miss Kenny. Come on. Remember, we need to jump on the opportunity that we get, right?
Is it okay though if I ask someone from the audience?
Sure, please go ahead, Miss Kenny. I think
Yes,
that's what we
please
need.
do.
Thank you, Pak Gelar. Oh, we
Okay.
have Fania. Fania Caroline. Don't think she's here. Can I take her place? Sure, sure. Fania Felicia. Hello, Fania.
Hello, Miss.
Hi.
I will open my camera too.
Oh,
I'm on-
okay. All right. No worries. Are you ready? Okay. All right. Let's go. This is your question. Tell us about your leadership experience.
Currently, I'm in the student council organization for NJ Putra University, Surabaya. Currently, I am the leader, the head of department for an event called Lomba Digital Kreatif, which is one of the competitions available in Festival Kebangsaan. And I think I am currently what's it called? Training my leadership experience
Okay.
from that event, because as I'm the head of department, I need to control each and every one of my members. So I think that's it.
Thank you. Will that be all, Fania?
Yes, Miss.
Thank you, Fania, for sharing. Okay, so here, Fania, the leader of head of Lomba Digital Creative. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right then. So usually when we have the questions, we will jump straight to answering the questions in the literal way. Tell us about your leadership experience, then what is it related to leadership? So yes, I am the leader here, my part is this, and then after that I learned a lot about leadership there. Try to take a moment, try to use the STAR method here before you go to introducing yourself and also the position. Try to position yourself first here in the situation. So think of one of the experiences. I'm sure you have a lot of that, okay? Past experiences or present experiences here where you think will capture the essence of leadership itself. When we are talking about leadership, we will be talking about a lot of traits, right? It could be about influencing others. It could be about several things. Just point out one here, and you could start with that. Other than you start with the position coming first. All right. So pick a trait. Okay. Pick one leadership trait here that you want to explain further. Okay. Just pick one because later it will help you to be concise. That's your situation. Then you will move to your task. There you could start with your position right now. Okay. As the member or one of the functionaries here in the student council. Then you can follow it or proceed with the action. What is actually that you have done, okay, that is related to the trait that you shared before? For example, influencing others to be better, to be a positive influencer. For example, that is your chosen trait, okay? And then your task here as the student council functionary would be how to gather a lot of ideals or aspirations from your fellow university students, correct? After that, you could point on one of the examples. What is your actual action so that you can say that being a positive influencer here is your trait. All right, then show us the results. For example, we will have our upcoming event here, Lomba Digital Kreatif, which will be held on this day, okay? And then we will meet together several hundred students and so on. What is your effort on gathering that many students here only in a short period amount of time, for example? Okay, you can try it here. For example, I have the several approaches from getting the approach, the traditional approach here with my college mates, university mates, and also from the social media, where I spread the news and why they need to be involved here. And then what's the result? You tell that at the end. The result here, we are fully booked, for example, like that. So it will be in accordance, and then you do not go from the position first, okay? Because the position here will be one of the excellent way for you to lead your next story. So start your introduction here with a great opening. It could be questions, it could be statements, but for this, you could start with the trait first. Pick one leadership trait and you go from there. Thank you, Fania. So you could see here, thank you, Fania, Bridget, and also Maverick for being the role play participants. I have one note here, guys, that I would like to share would be, if you try to follow the structure, then you do not need to be in a rush, okay? You do not need to be in a rush in answering any types of questions. And then second, it will be more structured. You will know what to say next, because speaking is the hardest. If it is writing or reading, we will have some time to digest again, right? But speaking, it will be at the same time. So we need to speak, we need to process this at the same time. So that's why it makes it harder. Try to apply the method here in your speech, guys. Is it appropriate at birth? Hi. Is it appropriate to use idiom? Yes, of course. Idiom would be one of the types of the figurative language, right? In the figurative language, it means that you can be as concise as possible, but using very few words. You know, all those figurative language where the meaning is not literal, but here, yes, you can use idioms. Idioms here will show that you have an advanced vocabulary. It will show that you can sum up, find the best idioms to go with each. Thank you. Thank you for the question, Edward. Hope that helps. Rifki, hello. Could you please explain how to avoid excessive body language? Okay. You have your screen. You could use that as your control, okay? As your control panel. So you have your screen here. Try to take a look both at the camera and also the screen here at the same time, so that, sorry, not at the same time. Try to look at the camera for most of the time, and then try to look at your screen for a while to see how you appear to the interviewers. To answer your questions, I will have one word only for that: rehearse. Try to rehearse, because speaking in front of a device, speaking in front of a camera, and speaking directly to a person makes a lot of difference. So you need to be familiar with how you will appear here in the camera. You need to be familiar with speaking to the camera other than to a person. Because if you speak directly to a person, you could see the expressions, the body language and others, right? Here, you still can see that, but very limited. Thank you. Yes, Pak Gelar.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kenny. I think I will have another question if that's okay. So,
Yes, it's okay.
yeah, we're talking about this interview, right? And I think that the interviewees will have a chance to interview a lot of interviewee, right? And
Correct.
the question
Yes.
will be very similar from one to another.
Yes.
So,
Correct.
is there any specific tips coming from you on how to make ourselves stand out, rather than just make sure that we're delivering a good answers? Because I think with the similar question, I think the similar answer will be around circulating around. So, is there anything that we can ensure or add on to make ourselves more stands out and remarkable and memorable?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Pak Gelar. Okay. Other than the explanation, so examples here is a very important aspect, Pak Gelar, and also everyone. Your own experience here will make you different. It is only your experience, right? Not other applicants' experience. So how you have and also handle the situation, that would be yours and only you here that could have. So on how to make it stand out, make sure that you are original. how to be original, I will need you to really look again on what is it actually on your goals, what is actually the things that will make you pursue these goals there differently. If we say, for example, I am diligent, I am a person that will go extra mile. We will have hundreds of applicants that will say that. But once you provide your examples or your reasons for this, the story will be different, completely different. You have so we have, for example, 5 applicants. All of them are the functionaries in the student councils. All of them are the leaders here in the student council. What makes them different is how they handle this question, this certain situation. That's why it is very important not just to answer the question and give the explanation related to your your answer here, your previous sentence, but it is very important for you to put the example. Example here would be the one that will make you stand out from the crowd. I think I'll go from there. Pak Gelar? Yes, Bridget, thank you. Hope that helps, Pak Gelar. And also and also for the others, because yes, there will be a lot of applicants that will say, I have these positive traits, this and this. When it comes to weaknesses, it will be this and this. What makes it different will be your personal approach. Your story on being a person that is persistent will be different only if you tell your own reason, your own examples on how persistent you are. Okay, I will give it back to Janice.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Again, it is the discussion part of the workshop. Everyone has been giving in more questions, so I like to encourage more questions because this is Q&A session. So yes, we will give you time to write, or you simply can raise your hand up and open your mic.
Perhaps several keywords while waiting for the others that want to ask questions. The thing about this interview is that how to introduce your original or your true self here to the interviewer and why you deserve this, okay? You know that you deserve this because this, and this. The interviewer might not get that yet. You need to provide that, the reasons, the stories, your examples, and others. And yes, by giving your answers here, it will be one step ahead here on how to set you apart from the crowd, from the other applicants. When it comes to talk, you can have several seconds. You do not need to jump right away when a question is given. Tell me or tell us about yourself. Then after that, silence. You can have some few seconds to think on this before you construct your response. You do not need to start right away. On the second the interviewer stops speaking. You can take, for example, up to 5 seconds so that you could prepare yourself to provide the best answer, guys. Do remember that each question, all questions will have the underlying, will have the intention behind that. So don't go for the literal answers, go for the intentions that will set you apart. Tell us about yourself, not giving you the stories about yourself, where you were born or others, your story life, no, but it will goes deeper than that. Research is the key, preparation is the key. You can start right away after this. Make some pointers first. If you have your pointers, you have enough weapons there. You have enough points that later you will develop. From our role play, you could see that you do not need those many points, right? When you answer the questions, just 1 or 2 points are enough. But I need you to know how to develop those points, because you are the only one that know how to develop that from your experiences, from your life story or others. Please make them relatable. So start from the beginning, even though we do have 2 methods, the prep and also the STAR method. They have the same structure, guys. We start from the introduction here first, okay? So something to attract the interviewer's attention. So do not waste time on this. Do not start with the literal answer right away, okay? Do not start with, you can hold the introduction about yourself though. You could have that after your very first introduction or in the middle of your introduction. After that, you will develop that. Developing the points will be, you will have your points, you will have your examples. You have that in both methods, prep method and also the STAR method. Last but not least, you will have the conclusion. Bring it back to the points, paraphrase your previous points, summarize, and if it is telling about the past experiences, please provide the result so that we will know what the result from your action. All the best, everyone.
Thank you for further explanation. Again, about the question, does anyone have any additional question? If you want to put it down on the chat box, you can. We still have a few more minutes before we need to end the workshop.
Perhaps still busy with making some pointers for the research and others.
Miss Kenny, I would like to ask a question while waiting
Yes,
for
Miss
the
Jessica.
others. So I'm wondering, right, since we will need to bring out our unique self, right, our personal
Correct.
stories like that one, will it help for me to, like, at the beginning, maybe I can list out some events in my life that might be interesting and different from the others? For example, like maybe I got into an accident when I was small and then how it affect me now, or maybe there's something funny that happens during my high school, just to make list. So when the interviewer asking me, then I can just go back and remember, oh, what happened to me, or this is some of the list that maybe I can bring up. Or maybe you have any other tips that we can use to make us easier to recall all those events.
Thank you, Miss Jessica. Yes. Provide introducing our unique self here would be the key. There are lots of things that's been going on in our life, and we need to make a list. It is very good though. Events in your life, not just the good time. It could be those with the not so good time and bad time. Perhaps because there will always have to be something that we learned from there. Yes, that would be, thank you for the comments, for the input here, Miss Jessica. Sure, we could identify, we could use actually our interview time here, our preparation for the interview here to dig deeper about ourselves, not just about the events in our lives, but also what is actually one thing that I really want to achieve. We have one thing here that we really want to achieve, and then the definition of success is different to each and every one of us. So you could make some pointers on that. My definition of success is here. It will help you later when you want to explain on certain points. You want to explain about your persistence, for example. You want to explain about your persistence. You have your examples already, and then you will bring it back here. You could put this at your conclusion part as well as one of the reasons that will be very different here compared to the others because it is yours. Thank you, Miss Jessica.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Kenny, for the
You're
answer.
welcome. How is it, Janice?
Unfortunately, there is no one in the chat right now who is asking questions. Well, I'll be counting down from 3. So maybe we can close the workshop. We can start taking pictures and also maybe a closing remark from you, Miss Kenny. Is that okay?
Yes, that's okay, Janice. Thank you.
Okay. I'll be counting down from number 3. 3.
I want to ask some
Hello.
questions.
Okay.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Calvin. How can you create a positive and memorable impression on the interviewer, and what are the best tips for ending an interviewer on a strong and positive notes?
Okay. Sorry. For your name is
You can call me Aswan.
Aswan. Okay. Hi, Aswan. Thank you for
Hi.
the questions. How to create memorable ending?
How can you create a positive and memorable impression on
Impression.
interviewer,
Okay.
and what are the best tips for an interview on a strong and a positive vibes?
Positive vibes. Thank you. All right. So to create memorable impressions and also the positive vibes here will be related much to how you show your enthusiasm. Okay, how to show your enthusiasm here will be reflected through your vocal variety, your voice, I mean, and also from your facial expressions and gesture. If you are excited, if you are enthusiastic here about the scholarship and also the interview process, then you will show it. You will show it from the beginning of the interview up until the end of the interview. You will show your enthusiasm through your facial expressions. You put the smile on your face. You will also answer it using the voice here. If we have the same answer but different sides of the delivery, for example, I'm really excited to be here. Okay. And then the second, I will put the stress on really. I'm really excited to be here. When I have the stress here, the focus on these words, it will affect my facial expressions as well. So the changes in how you speak, okay, your pace, not too fast, but you will have some variety in that. For example, if you want to put your focus, you will have it slowly here, slower paced. If you want to show the enthusiasm throughout or during your story, you can put a bit of faster here for the pace. And then after that, you can also show that through your facial expressions. Everything is connected actually. So the way we have our eye contact, the way we have our facial expressions, it needs to be the same as if you had the in-person interview. Okay? If you are excited about something, it will be shown in your face. Is that correct? So that would be how to have the positive vibe, not just at the end, but throughout the interview. If you are enthusiastic, then the vibe will be delivered as well, okay, to the interviewer. And then how to have memorable impression here, strong and all positive and also memorable impression, the same here. First, from your story, okay? So your example here is very important. Your story, your authentic story here is very important. And another, how you deliver that, how you say that story. Is it monotone? Is it flat? Or is it with a lot of vibe? So you will send the vibe there. Hope that helps, Aswan. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, ma'am, for the
You're
answer.
welcome. Okay, I'll get back to Janice.
Okay, is there any more questions? Because we will have an announcement from Miss Jessica.
I wanted to ask something.
Yes, Jason,
Okay.
is it?
Yeah. So, first of all, my name's Jason. I want to ask about, in terms of duration, how long should I be answering, or how long should the answer be? Is 5 minutes too long, or is it too short?
Thank you. Thank you, Jason, for the answer. Okay. For the answer of the questions, actually the length would be 1 to 2 minutes here would be best. 5 minutes, you will take the whole speech there on a single question, and you will have more than just one question. So try to limit that in 1 to 2 minutes at most. In 1 minute, there are lots of ideas or stories you could deliver. Try to rehearse that first. Up to 2 minutes, I guess that would be the max, because that way you could tell your story in concise and also effective way. Hope that helps, Jason.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I hope that is the last question. If anyone have more questions, I believe they can contact you, right, Miss Kenny,
Sure.
from the
Yes.
socials that you gave out, yes?
Yes.
Okay, that is the end of the Q&A session. Again, I thank everyone that is participating in the Q&A session, and we are going to have an announcement from Miss Jessica.
Okay, thank you very much, Janice. Thank you very much also, Miss Kenny, for delivering us such a helpful session for the preparation of ISMA. So, students, I hope this session also helped you to prepare for your next session interview, even though you're not in ISMA yet, probably preparing for next year. Yeah, but this will not the only interview preparation session that you will have. Okay, the good news is you will have another session on Thursday with a different speaker. Well, unfortunately, we don't meet with Miss Kenny again for this time, but we'll have another session with another speaker and a different approach as well. So please make sure if you feel this one is useful and you feel like you can use more help, please attend our second session as well. So on Thursday, same time from 4 to 6 p.m. And then the next one, we will also have 3 sessions for interview one-on-one. So you get to practice and get your very personal feedback during the session. You have 3 times. So please make sure you use that session to get as much as input that you can. Okay, we will announce it to you in the group of ISMA later on the detail. But the closest one, mark your calendar, Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. I think that's it, Janice. Thank you.
Okay, before closing the workshop, Miss Kenny, do you have any closing remarks for all of
Okay.
us?
Yes, I have one actually. Don't forget to prepare, everyone. So start sooner, okay? Start sooner than later, okay? Start sooner, like after this, okay? You can start with whichever approach that you want to have. You can start with the host university first, or the country first, or the major first. It is very important for you to gather this, because there are lots of options, and by having lots of options, we have the possibility to have more confusion. So start sooner with that. Try to have pointers. Just try to point out the thing, the unique, your unique self, your unique stories. Try to point out about important live events. Try to make some pointers about how you want to be addressed. And don't forget to enjoy the moment, everyone. There are lots of pressure, perhaps, throughout the preparation and others. But the most important thing is that you have fun. So try to enjoy every process. Try to enjoy every process, dear. And I wish you guys all the very best for the ISMA scholarship, both for this year or the upcoming year. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you, Ms. Kenny, to be our facilitator today. I'd like to add one last thing. If you want to refer back to this session, we are recording it right now and putting it in YouTube from NNP's channel. So you can always refer back to this video if you need. Okay, let us move on to the last session. Let us all open our cameras because we are going to have our last picture session. Again, everyone, I'd like all of you to open your camera because we're going to have the last picture session for today. Udila, I think you can start taking pictures now.
I will help to count. Are you ready? Okay, so the first page, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Is it good? Okay, and then we will move to the second page. Smile again. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, is it all good? Okay, yeah, they were good. Thank you. Back to you, Janice.
Okay, that is all from me today as your MC. And for closing, I hope everyone have a great day. I hope everyone learn a lot. That is all from me. Thank you. And once again, thank you, Miss Kenny.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
everyone. Thank you,
everyone.
Miss
Thank
Kenny.
you.
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you.